Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I am doing this kind of a little bit at the spur of the moment because I honestly didn't think I'd be talking about Daniel Larson almost ever again after this. So, unfortunately, a bit of a very concerning sort of report came out, and I think the best thing to do is sort of like just go over it because I'm a little bit concerned about the content. So, I know fine well, I probably what my understanding of the law might be a little bit vivid, but then again, this all might come out to be nothing. But hear this. A report was filed on the 25th of September with Daniel Larson's attorney demanding that he be transferred to a psychiatric facility within a week and that the court receive his evaluation by November the 25th, with the case to be dismissed if neither happened. Daniel's attorney believes that he has been in jail for longer than he should be, and the reason is because the mental health facilities do not have any beds available. On October the 3rd, 2024, the court responded to this request, stating that his 4-month evaluation period will begin in December. He will also be moved to Springfield, Missouri that month, and will be re-evaluated in April of 2025. However, staff in Daniel's jail said that he will not be transferred anytime soon, as he is not even on the list and there are no beds available. If he is not transferred to Springfield by December 31st, 2024, the case will be dismissed, which will result in Daniel being released. Released from jail. After the April, what was it called? The April 24th incident in which Daniel Larson made a series of rather concerning threats towards the White House. Yes, first of all, what is the actual likelihood of Daniel Larson being released? I'm going to say, if it's legally, if it's in the law as to whether or not there are no beds available in Springfield, Missouri, then it could be argued that in one case or another that Daniel could absolutely be released. This is probably pending on state rules, I imagine, because Daniel Larson's still in Colorado, isn't he? To my knowledge, and well, what actually happens if they can't do? Do they have to have compliance with the state of Missouri when it comes to transferring prisoners? Or is it as a result of transferring prisoners with mental hindrances, or those who require extra attention? I think is the correct term. However, what I will have to say is that staff in Daniel's jail said that he will not be transferred anytime soon, as he is not even on the list. So, what does that mean? Does that mean that Daniel Larson hasn't even been considered for psychiatric evaluation? Is Daniel... Could it be possible? No, I'm not even sure. I can't even be convinced that Daniel is even putting on an act at all. Well, maybe he is or maybe he isn't. We might might not know. However, other things that we have to treat very seriously, ladies and gentlemen, is that, well, supposed Daniel Larson was released back into the real world. How on earth is he ever going to... Well, he has no home. His caretaker... It's been such a long time since I've had to talk about Daniel Larson that I'm... Even certain characters and, well, certain people in the story have either cut ties, want nothing to do with Daniel, and, well, everybody has, wiped him completely off the slate. So, Daniel is, well, as they say, going to be up shit creek without a paddle. He isn't going to have access to the internet. He isn't going to have access to grace. He isn't going to have access to anything, really. So, is Daniel even that safer in the real world, considering that we know the sort of carnage that he can create completely off his own back? So, I think, to be honest, I seriously doubt whether or not they would release Daniel Larson, because, one, the threats he did make are still incredibly concerning to anybody, whether they were working in And it's not just about the White House. You have to consider Daniel pulling fire alarms on places, Daniel squatting illicitly. And how exactly are you going to sue Daniel Larson for squatting when he does not have a single penny to his name? So, what can you do, ladies and gentlemen? Realistically, the only thing that is going to happen is that Daniel Larson is not going to be let back out anytime soon. I think Daniel will go over his evaluation. I reckon that he'll stay where he is for the moment. They'll put Daniel Larson's case back because maybe, who knows, maybe more evidence has emerged, or at least the powers that be, they will have to make some sort of effort on behalf of all the evidence stacked against Daniel Larson and everything that. Now, with that being said, one thing that we can't do, and this is I don't recommend we do, is that we can't influence this case based on things that are not related to this case. This case is specifically about what Daniel Larson did in terms of why the feds got involved. This hasn't got anything to do with anything else, despite we know fine well we can nail Daniel Larson to the crossover. In fact, to be honest, anyone out there would have done the same. But again, in the eyes of it doesn't work like that in the eyes of the law. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly how this turns out. But unfortunately, again, for Daniel Larson, I don't think people are going to be very happy at the thought of Daniel Larson being let back out again. Because by that point, it's a matter of when, not if, Daniel will probably be arrested again and sent back, knowing that Daniel Larson also has a propensity for going beyond limits in terms of where he can travel when he's been on tag. And also, I think, to be honest, being in a cell is probably the best thing that could ever happen for Daniel. As sad as it may seem, but Daniel has a roof over his head, he gets fed, he has a routine, and the only access he can really have to the outside world from that point is a mere hole in the sky. Sad as it may seem, but it's not really much of a conclusion when you think about it with regards to the Daniel Larson story. The fact that it just sort of stops, and you constantly ask yourself, well, what was the whole point of this whole story? What is the big lesson? What is it we've actually learned? Well, not very much. I'll say that much. So with all that being said and done, yeah, what do you guys reckon? Because I don't buy it'll be coming out anytime soon. Take care, and bye-bye for now.